Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Brian,
And this is Eric.
and we are your hosts for the Hunting Overtime podcast. This is kind of a neat one. I know there's not actually like an actual video attached to it or anything. That's because we are currently sitting at turkey camp
Over a campfire.
on Eric's what solo stove is this called again? Do you remember?
I think it's the Solo Stove Campfire.
The solo stove camp. Well,
Don't quote me on it
that's a
because I'm not 100%
that's
sure.
a fitting
But
name. And we each have a flask in hand, and tonight we're having a little screwball. So, cheers to today, buddy.
cheers.
We are at turkey camp, and well, we didn't kill anything today, but we had a heck of a day.
We walked a lot.
So let's see. We started this morning. What did we decide this morning was?
This morning we decided on roughly 4.
Roughly 4.
A little bit over 4 miles.
Last night we probably did. Yesterday evening we probably did about 2.5. This morning we did 4. And then our first walk this afternoon, put in that, I have it on Onyx, but I don't have my phone open. I want to say it was like another 4.5.
Yeah.
4 or 4.5. So we were at, because we said we were at, 4 and 4 is 8, plus 2 from last night was 10. And then we actually got back to camp, and we strolled into camp, and I kid you not, that Tom had to have a 6 to 8 inch beard, and he was 20 yards from our tent.
Yeah, just to reiterate, we drove, probably 3 miles from our tent.
Yeah,
to walk in.
Around, like, as a crow flies, we're a mile, probably. Not even, probably.
In the opposite direction that we hunted this morning, so this was in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Hardly saw anything. We're debating what we were going to do for tomorrow, and we roll up to our tents, and a Tom with an 8-inch beard is standing 20 yards from Brian's tent.
Dude, I was like in disbelief. Like, we drove all the way down this road, and they just had to be in the right bottom where they just couldn't see us.
And Brian looked at me, and you could tell I was pissed after we walked 8 miles today, and we could have just sat at camp and probably killed one.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, I guess it is what it is, right? Like, it's what you do.
It was hilarious looking back, but when you were slightly tired.
Move this mic a little closer to my mouth. Might be a little bit better. I don't know. So we have these little lapel mics where our audio is obviously not going to be as good as it is when we have our good mics with us. But we just got these little lapel mics. They make good, like this kind of thing, like campfire. They're light, they're small, they're easy to pack. So we could, like, if we wanted to, like, do a backcountry type podcast, because I would not worry about carrying these mics with us and just recording on my phone. So, this fire feels so good, dude.
Yeah.
I wish we could record. I don't have enough memory card space on the video camera to record an hour-long podcast and then save all of our footage. So
converted Brian to a little Solo Stove.
I'm definitely buying one of these. I think Brooke and I would love it on our, like, patio furniture, like on a table after we finish our deck. So, yeah. So why? Explain to him why So today was kind of crazy. Let's just start from the very beginning. Let's start from last night when we got here. So we just got a weekend turkey hunt here, and we drove up last night. It's about exactly a 2-hour drive from town. And we rolled in. I had a game plan already set in place. We drove down this road. We saw some turkeys, a nice tom, all fanned out, kind of exactly, and then kind of headed the direction where we planned on going anyways. And so we went ahead and went in there, never heard anything, didn't see them. And then we were just getting up to leave that spot, actually, and heard a gobble. And kind of went towards that in hopes that we could maybe locate that a little bit, do what we call putting them to bed to see if they were in a spot we could get to them in the morning. Came up on some hens, never saw them, but they were they were clucking at us and stuff, or not at us, but just in general, just doing some yelps. Um, Backed out of there, located some birds from the pickup, put a line on Onyx, so we used the navigation part on Onyx, so it told us what direction we were facing. I put a line there, and then we tried to loop around. I think it actually came to exactly where we're sitting right now.
And this same bird was still gobbling.
It was still gobbling, and
Drew another line
drew
to give us an idea.
another line to make an X and kind of give us an idea of where that was at. In the meantime, we had another bird take off and start gobbling to the east, or to the northeast, and we weren't real sure which one we were going to go after. So we made a game plan. We're just going to go down this ridge, and whichever one popped off first in the morning is the one we're going to take. Well, it got real windy. We knew it was supposed to be windy today, but it got real windy real fast. And we're talking, I don't know what you guys consider windy, but we're talking western Nebraska windy. Like, the wind blew 30 mile an hour today with 40 mile an hour gusts.
It was miserable at times.
It was,
turkeys could not hear us.
we couldn't even hear us. Like,
no.
we couldn't even hear us. It was so windy. You got the trees blowing up top. Like, we're talking pine trees, and it just going crazy. And there's no way they could hear us. So our intent, our game plan, really,
was to ambush them
and just like get straight western on them. And as a matter of fact, we got on a couple that I literally looked at Eric and I said, "This is just gonna get western. Let's just get ready and let's do it." So, anyways, we got over. We didn't hear a single thing in the morning. Just like I said, the wind took off early, and so 7 o'clock. We looked at each other, and the sun was shining. We were out of the wind, and we're like, you know what? Nap time.
Yeah, 2 hours into our hunt, we took a nap, and then it just gets better from there.
Yeah, pretty much. Take it over.
Okay, so
take it over from your point of view, because our points of view on this are actually quite different.
So, we lay down at the top of this ridge and take, what would you say, probably a 45-minute nap, I think.
Oh, at least. It was probably pushing an hour, yeah.
I was passed out, as well as Brian, dead asleep. Brian wakes up, but I'll let him tell that side of the story. I'm dead asleep, and all of a sudden, I get a stick thrown at me that hits me in the arm, and he says, "Grab your gun." And I'm like, "For what?" And I'll let you take it over.
You probably thought I was crazy. Well, so I was laying there, and I had just like woke up, like, from what, I mean, if I'd have been on my side, it would have been like a drooling nap. Like, that's how hard asleep I was. Like, if I was on my side, I'd have been drooling. But I was straight sacked. The sun was shining on us, no wind, like, it was warm. It felt good. Laying in that little, I don't know, we were just over the ridge for the wind, I guess, but so I was sitting there, and I just woke up, and I was kind of out of it, and getting ready to wake up from the nap for good, and so then I was laying there, and I shut my eyes for a little bit longer, and this gobble popped off, and that thing was, like, on top of us. Like, it could not have been more than 100 yards away. Not even possible. So it was within 100 yards.
So to put this in perspective, we've walked 3 miles probably at this point.
Probably 2.5 to 3, yeah. We're back
haven't heard a turkey, haven't seen
ways.
A turkey.
Yeah.
We lay down and take a nap, and turkey comes to
about
us.
45 minutes to an hour later, and the turkey comes up. That's how it's supposed to work, right? So this gobble pops off, and I freak out. So, like, we're just over a ridge. So, like, if this thing were to pop over the ridge, it would literally be 5 yards from us. Like, it would have been it would have been tough to get that thing killed.
It really wasn't a spot we were even expecting to see a turkey.
Like, we were literally just laying down to take a nap and waste some time until we got to the mid-morning hunt. But, so anyways, I'm, like, freak out. Like, it makes me, like, jump out of my bed, or
well, it makes you throw sticks at
off the ground, and I start throwing sticks. I throw one stick, and it's short. I throw another stick and I'm too excited and it goes over Eric. The third one I finally threw connected. I don't know where it hit you.
It hit me in my arm.
Okay, so at least it didn't hit him in the face.
It took me like 30 seconds to figure out where my gun was.
I'm like, well, I was sitting there. Before I even threw sticks, you don't even know this. Before I even threw sticks, I was like, Eric, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun, Eric. And he just like literally doesn't even move a muscle. So then I start throwing the stick. First one's short, second one's long, third one connects. But when I hit you, I didn't think you even I didn't think it woke you up because you didn't move right away. So I was like, I don't know, frick. So I'm sitting there, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. And I swear, so then we called a little bit, no response. And then finally I'm like, all right, well, let's sneak up over this ridge a little bit and see what we can see. So we sneak up over, don't see anything. We go to the left, we don't see anything. We go to the right, we don't see anything.
So I'm starting to think Brian woke up from a nightmare of a turkey gobble and just straight up pulling my leg. I'm like, dude, there ain't a turkey around here.
I would be lying if I didn't tell you that I was starting to question myself. Like, I was literally starting to question myself. I was like,
pulling my leg.
Was I more asleep than I thought I was? And it literally was a dream? But then I'm like, no, like, that was real. And it was, like, on top of us. Anyways, wind's blowing 30 mile an hour on top of this ridge. We dipped that back over onto the east side of the ridge, the southeast side of the ridge, and
we had given up.
We'd given up. We decided there was no. The turkey was gone.
Making a new game plan to continue.
Yeah.
We had to basically go down and climb another ridge.
Yeah. Well, we had kind of thought maybe it busted us or saw us moving. Maybe it was on one of the sides and we didn't see it. And so, anyways, we gather our stuff up and we start walking up over the ridge like leisurely, like not even looking for a turkey. And all of a sudden, like there it was. I don't know if it was the turkey that gobbled, but there was a turkey right there. And so
like
I popped
50
down.
yards probably.
Yeah. So I popped down. It's right there, right there. Get down, get down, get down. And so we both dropped down. We're like, all right, we're just gonna. We called a little bit, no response, in hopes that maybe it would keep coming in the direction it was coming. It looked like it was going to come up a ridge and kind of wrap around to us, and that's the pattern it was on. And so we were hoping for that. Didn't happen, so we popped up over, thinking maybe we could ambush this thing. Didn't happen, didn't find it, so we started working down the ridge.
Finally, I just start speed walking the ridge.
Yeah, like finally, like we
downhill.
Went slow for so long that we were kind of like, oh, it must be going. And then all of a sudden, at the exact same time, I think, we both saw it. I have the video camera literally recording in my hand, and this thing takes off flying, and I drop the camera. So I dropped like $1,500 worth of camera gear. I just straight up drop it on the ground.
You didn't have faith that I could hit it.
For a turkey, and I didn't even shoulder my shotgun. It wasn't like I didn't even have a clear.
Oh, I shouldered it. I could have dropped that sucker in midair.
So the reason we didn't shoot, we could not identify the sex of this bird. So
we saw it basically as it was taking off.
Yeah. It was running away and taking off. We had no way to know.
It definitely was not a giant tom. So
yeah,
it wasn't a no-brainer.
If it was a giant tom, I would have saw the beard a little bit ago when I saw it walking on the ground.
So we decided to do the right thing, let it go.
We made the right choice. We let it fly just because we couldn't confirm the sex of the bird. Odds are it was probably whatever gobbled at us.
Yeah.
Just because it was odds are, but like you don't necessarily want to play the odds game.
No.
So, anyways, we let that one go and we worked back up another ridge. Got on some two more birds. Snuck up on them actually, and we were having a really hard time telling if they were jakes or hens. And we couldn't make a decision, and finally we decided that they were jakes, but they started working away from us. We thought maybe we could get them called in. We popped up on them is what happened, and I saw them, and we sat down and came back, and they did crest the hill and come look at us, but they didn't come in, and they started working away, and we kind of put a sneak on them, and they kept working away, and this was where I was finally like, all right, let's just get Western with it, and we're just gonna go and see if we can drop one of these things, and we tried to sneak as good as we can, and they just busted us a little bit before we could get close enough to get a shot. So, then we made it back to the pickup. Didn't see anything else after that. Then we went to town. We decided that after a hard working morning, we deserved a treat. So we went in and had Chinese buffet. And yeah,
Ate way too much.
we went in and threw down on some China buffet, some China house. And I'll be honest with you, it was worth every minute that we spent in town.
Yeah.
Then what we do?
We came back and took a nap.
Yeah, we came back and took another nap. That's kind of how turkey camp is supposed to be, though. Like, you're supposed to get naps in. Like, that's part of it. You can't, like, overwork yourself.
And this is where we decided to drive in the opposite direction a few miles and walk in from a different angle.
So then we went to a different spot where the landowner had actually told us that's where he'd been seeing the birds. So we went over there, and I do believe him. I know there's birds over there typically, and we see birds over there, but our biggest factor was that there was 30-mile-an-hour winds with probably at times 40-mile-an-hour gusts.
It was slow again for a while.
We didn't hear anything.
Couple hours.
While we were over there, we didn't hear a thing, right? Oh no, we bumped those two birds coming in.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
We don't even know what those were.
Yeah,
they were gone before we saw them.
They were flying before we saw them. We were trying to take it slow because we had seen some birds in this exact spot years back when we coyote hunted up here one winter. We were just trying to be aware of the location, and they were a little further in than last time, but oh man, I'm yawning. What time is it?
9:30 probably.
9:24. Anyways, other than that, there wasn't a sign of a bird in there, and we put on another 3.5 to 4 miles.
Then the wind died down.
Then the wind died down, which we didn't even know the wind died down. I think the wind died down like as we were driving back, and that was when we got back, and there was those two toms like right by our tent. But from there on, can you hand me that screwball? Is there some more in there? Or is it gone? Can I have one more hit?
Yep.
Anyways, when we got on those two jakes on this ridge, we were calling at them, and I left my slate call on the ground. We were pretty sure we knew exactly where it was, but
so we had basically given up, and we were just driving back to camp to walk down this ridge to get Brian's call that he forgot like 4 hours before
because we needed it for the morning. We were pretty sure it's the best sounding call I have. So,
and we're rolling up to camp, park the truck, and there's a turkey 15 yards away.
I only parked the truck because I saw the turkey.
That is the biggest tom, the only mature tom that we've even seen.
Yeah.
It takes off down this ridge that we've walked up and down 4 times already today. So we head down it again, find Brian's call, don't see the turkey, and then that's when we discovered the wind died down, and that's when, what did we hear? At least 3 different toms.
We literally just picked up my call, and we were standing there.
We were on the way the walk back up.
That's right.
Because we had given up.
We had given up. We were walking back.
And then turkeys started sounding off.
Like, not to our call even.
Of course, leave it to Brian. One's like within 3 miles of us, so all of a sudden now
the chase is on.
We're in game time mode.
Oh, Dude, my heart rate spiked.
I kid you not, we moved 3 ridges in probably 15 minutes. I was dying.
Could you tell my heart rate spiked?
Yeah.
Dude,
I wasn't feeling it until we got to the second setup when we thought we had a chance. And I don't even know if I could have got a shot off because we were moving so fast.
dude, I was on the chase. When that happens, it's like, I don't know. A lot of people compare or use this comparison of turkey hunting being comparable to elk hunting, just smaller bird. And I can see where they get some of the comparisons. But where my comparison comes in is like the adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I hear that gobble, like it's like hearing a bugle. Like it's go time, dude. Like obviously, as you can tell today, I don't care how many ridges I have to jump. I'm going.
It was go time.
And what's really nice is Eric and I have been working out really hard in the gym, um, 5 days a week. I mean, 4 a.m. workouts, like literally an hour long, almost to the minute. So we go 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. basically, and
Today was when we realized the difference.
we realized how important. Like we knew it was important. Don't get me wrong, but like yesterday and today, we noticed the difference. I guess not realized it necessarily, but we
Yeah.
noticed it. Like our lungs, sure, we don't do cardio. Like we do plyos and stuff like that. So we get some cardio. So we're probably in better cardio shape than a lot of people. But our lungs were tired at times, obviously. But most people are going to get that way. Wouldn't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, your lungs are going to get tired. Like, it's just how it is. But what didn't really happen is our legs didn't get tired.
No.
Like, we have put on, what are we at? Like, 10 to 10 and a half miles in 24 hours.
And it's, for anyone listening, it's steeper than you're picturing.
It's not like
it's not flat Nebraska.
Terrain. No, this isn't flat Nebraska. Like this is Pine Ridge area. Like it's legit stuff, and like it's real canyons that we're climbing, and I didn't feel it in my legs. Like
No.
I am confident that I'm gonna wake up in the morning and I'll be just fine. I'll be ready to go again.
Yep.
And I'll go anywhere. Like I'm not worried about tomorrow at all. And I think that's obviously made one of the biggest differences. So we were able to jump those 3 ridges, like you said, with not really with no problem. Yes, did my lungs hurt? Heck yeah, they did. Like to be honest with you, half of
tiring.
Half of that time we were chasing him, we were literally like jogging.
But it also helped that he was gobbling about every 30 seconds there for a while.
Yeah.
Every time Brian called, he would respond. So it was.
He started gobbling just on his own. Like he just random gobbled. But then he was responding to our calls, so that helped. But we got to about close enough where we thought maybe we were going to get something to happen, and he just quit. Why, I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm almost thinking that he went back down the ridge and was maybe heading to wherever he's going to roost for the night. Because it was getting a little later by that time.
It was pretty late. Like, it was pretty much the last chance. We both knew it for the day.
Yeah. But the whole walk back, gobbles. Gobbles from
3 or 4 different birds?
Oh, yeah. Probably one of them was from him, I think. That was back to the north. It was probably that same bird. We had another
one way farther back to the west.
To the west. And then there was this one right here on the edge of the field that we heard at least one time, maybe twice. So we get back to camp and we hear a gobble. Well, actually, we were putting stuff away.
It's 7:20.
Something like that, yeah.
And you can shoot till 7:50. We hear a gobble from camp.
I look at Eric. I was like, "What time sunset? 7:51." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, let's go." So
set up for a little bit. Realize it's too late.
We had to put our stuff back on.
Yeah.
Or I guess I did. I had taken my pack off. But
we walked a couple hundred yards from camp.
Yeah, not
realized
far.
Nothing was going to pan out.
Yeah.
So we turned around and head back to camp. And then from camp, we see Tom fanned out.
Fire on the ground! Fire on the ground! Not with my hands, though. Definitely with the log. Hold on, guys. Sorry, we had a little bit of a grass fire here. We just gotta put that out for a second.
We're good. That's my bad.
Well, that log had to break off. We we got this little solo stove, and our logs are a little bit too big, so they stick out of the solo stove. One of the logs broke off. It was on the ground, and it was
Set on fire.
yeah, it was just it. I mean, nothing else really started on fire. It was just the log burning, but we just had to get it out quick. I'm gonna, before we finish the story about the bird in the field right here, I'm gonna stop this video so the video clip isn't so long, and then I'll start a new one. All right, we got a new one going. So, anyways, go ahead and finish telling them about that.
So at the end of the field where we're camped, was it 4 hens?
I think there ended up being 5, but there was 4 originally.
5 hens came out into the field where I assume they were feeding, and out steps, we think is a Jake fanned out, possibly a 2-year-old Tom. We watch them from camp till it gets dark, and those are the birds we plan on going after in the morning.
Yeah, I think that I think it'd be silly for us not to go after that bird in the morning, to be honest with you. Like, we know exactly where it's at. I do think it is a Tom, because I could tell it didn't have much for a beard, but I could see it had a full fan.
Yep.
So it didn't have a Jake fan. Those Jakes, if I'm sure a lot of you who are listening know, but if you're not a turkey hunter or don't know much about it, those Jakes will have about 3 tail feathers in their fan that are a little bit longer than the rest. So they haven't quite grown into it. So that's how you can tell between like a Jake and a hen or a Jake and a Tom. Is they'll have that fan that's a little bit longer there in the middle. But so this one I'm pretty sure is a full-grown Tom. I don't think it has a huge beard. It definitely is not the one we saw right by camp. Because that one had a good beard. It was 6 to 8 inches. But so yeah, I don't know. I guess you haven't turkey hunted a ton, Eric. But what I think the best plan to do in the morning with that is get up earlier than we did this morning. I mean, we were fine this morning, but we want to be earlier tomorrow morning. And what we want to do is move in and try to locate that bird in the tree and basically get in tight and see if he'll come down and come in decoys.
Yep.
So hopefully we can get that thing gobbling in the morning. I just got cold.
No.
Did you?
Is it raining? No.
No, you're just drunk.
I'm not even. I just felt a raindrop on my hand.
No, you're just, dude, look up. You did not feel a raindrop. Look at this.
I'm dead serious.
Dude, there is not a cloud within 100 miles of us. Like, I see literally, like, there's the Big Dipper right there. I see every single I see stars. There's the nearest cloud over I assure you, you did not feel a raindrop. Oh man. Don't mind us, I guess. We're just we better make sure this is are you sure this is empty? Oh, yeah, it's empty. We finished this bottle. We were gonna waste that. We finished this bottle. We didn't drink it all tonight, so don't don't judge us. But over the course of 2 nights, we did drink that whole bottle. Oh man! But anyways, yeah. So I don't know if those hens. I assume they probably roosted with that tom. So that obviously makes things a little more interesting in the morning. But I don't know. I think that's our best chance.
Yep.
For sure.
Closest bird.
Definitely the closest bird. And we know he's there. So if you guys, if you go to the Seasons Media Instagram page, today is, what is today? The 29th, right?
Yep.
Today's April 29th, and you can go to the Seasons Media Instagram page and actually see the video of that tom out in the field right before he took off into the roof. So it's a very good video. We went live on Instagram for that and just had some people jumping in and checking it out and asking questions and things like that. Little chat going on there. Shout out to Hunter Maddox, who asked some questions and kind of participated in the chat. That was awesome to have. So thanks for that. I don't remember if anybody else. I think he was the only one that commented on the chat. There's quite a few people that joined in, so I do appreciate that. I think it'd be fun to go live for some podcasts. What do you think?
That'd be a good idea.
Like, why not?
I like it.
We should do that. We can do YouTube live too. That'd be kind of fun too. If we can get some interaction on YouTube and go live for some podcasts, I think that'd be fun. Get some just like random questions and not know what's coming and have to answer them just right off the top of our heads, you know.
Yep.
I think it'd be kind of fun. So, what else? What are we about? About 36 minutes in. Tell us. I got one for us. So, first of all, that little thing. I did a gear review on that, and that's about to pop on the Seasons Media YouTube channel. That thing is coming clutch.
What's it called again? I forgot.
The Flex Tail.
Yeah.
It is. I currently have it. I have my Flex Tail, so it's an air pump, is what it is mostly used for, to blow up air pads, and I blow my pillow up and stuff with it. But right now, it's magneted to the side of the pickup, shining light on us.
And it's been like that for at least 2 hours.
I wish I could remember off the top of my head how much time it claims to have. I don't remember for sure what it says for how long that'll work. But yeah, we blew up both of our pads with it, blew up my pillow with it, and now it's been. I mean, I read a book in my tent last night. I know that sounds really nerdy. For the record, it's Hunting Big Mule Deer is the title of the book. But I read a book for 10 minutes, 15 minutes in my tent last night with the light on. It's been on basically since it got dark.
Yep.
So like an hour and a half to 2 hours that light's been on. And it's still shining bright. It's not on the brightest setting. I think it's on the middle setting, which is nice. But I think it's literally just, I should take a picture of it. Like that's actually kind of a cool picture for maybe Flex Tail it like that on Instagram. I don't know if I can focus on it though. It's wigging me out. It's wigging my camera out. But it just, I don't know, it just lights this area up a little bit. It's
Been pretty handy.
been real handy. Between that and this little solo stove. Tell us a little bit about, since we're here and we're doing this, and the problem has arose. It's going on with your sleeping pad?
So my sleeping pad goes flat, but neither Brian and I can figure it out because it kind of has a mind of its own of when it does
so
it.
Weird.
So we can't figure out if I have a slight hole or if the, whatever you call it,
The valve
is just slowly leaking.
Okay.
Because sometimes when I test it out for 3 days in a row, it'll hold air.
But then last night when you were sleeping, you said you woke up at like 1 a.m.
And I was completely on the ground. It was out. Refilled it. It had some air still when we took a nap today. Filled it up, slept on it. The whole time we took a nap, it was fine.
And then we came back tonight.
Came back tonight and it needed a couple more.
It
wasn't flat.
Not flat, but it had lost air.
Yeah.
So obviously it's got a leak, but how like sometimes it doesn't is weird.
Yeah.
The fact that you could take a nap on it for an hour this afternoon
And it doesn't go down
and it
at
didn't
all.
go down at all. That's weird. It almost makes me think that maybe the hole is somewhere where you're laying and sometimes you cover it.
Plug it just enough to slow it down.
I wonder.
Yeah, so needless to say, a new sleeping pad will be happening. I'm about sick of it.
Yeah, we did do that podcast and talked a little bit about your sleeping pad and that it was, so it's the Cabela's Instinct pad. And it's a good price, but I worry a little bit, like, now that
it's been used on 2 hunts pretty much.
Yeah, you haven't used it.
Hasn't been used that much.
You haven't used it a whole lot. You used it on the coyote hunt, and then the bear hunt,
Idaho,
and then now. Is that basically it?
Yeah.
And
it's going flat on me.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, that's a worry. Did you use it one other time? When did you notice that it went flat?
We tested. Oh, in Wyoming when I went with you.
Oh yeah, elk hunting. That's right. That's right. So it's been used 4 times, and but that third time is the first time it went flat.
Yep.
After Idaho.
Which makes no sense because it's just been stored ever since the second.
And when it went flat that time, then you blew it back up, and the next night it didn't go flat
at all. It was fine.
So, but anyways, we kind of talked highly about it because it
is comfortable.
It is comfortable.
Nice.
It's a little more affordable than some of the other sleeping pads. It's wider. Like, it's wider than my sleeping pad.
It's no heavier.
It's not, no. So
we want it to work out.
Yeah, but it just, obviously, if that's going to happen, that's a worry. So I don't know. I don't know what you do because, like you, I mean, I guess you air it up, but how you find a hole when sometimes it goes flat, sometimes it doesn't, I'm not sure how you do that.
I don't know either.
I guess you put it in, I guess the only thing I can think of is put it in like a bathtub full of water and like squeeze it really hard. And maybe you can get some bubbles.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's my own. Fire. Sorry.
Waiting for that to happen.
We dropped more fire. And it almost landed right on my iPad. There we go. That'd have been a bad deal. I think you guys still would have kept recording, even if it was on you, so I think you'd have been okay. A couple coals we need to just rub out a little bit. Bring that my way a little bit. But, anyways, I don't know what to do necessarily about the sleeping pad, but otherwise, tent set up and everything's working good. It was warmer last night. That was kind of nice. I got hot again. Tell you what, that new sleeping bag is a good deal. I actually got one that works this time. You've had one that works, but all I know is cold at night.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of nice to be warm at night.
It's sad when mine was outperforming yours. I'm not even going to say which one mine is.
Mine was just a El Cheapo, so
yeah.
I thought I'd
go was El Cheapo ×2.
I thought I'd go budget, and it just didn't work out for me. So, I guess it lasted a while, but I didn't realize until I got this Nemo bag
how bad your other one was.
Well, how bad I'd been sleeping. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get so much better sleep, obviously. Like, it makes sense. When you have a good bag, you get better sleep. I just didn't. I don't know. I guess it was just all I knew. But well, I feel like we're kind of just starting to ramble.
Yeah.
Our buzz is buzzing, and I think we should let this fire burn down a little bit and hit the sack.
I think so too.
We got to get up early tomorrow. Like, what time is sunrise? 5:15.
No. We can shoot at 5:20.
Oh, 5:21 was shooting time. Jeez, my wife is like ghosting me. She read my message at 9:09. It's 9:47 and she hasn't replied. Alright, so 1 second. Let's check this. Let's check this weather and kind of let you guys know what we're looking at for tomorrow. Put some more of these coals out that are on the ground on this side. We don't need a fire outside the fire pit tonight. Alright, we are in none of your business, Nebraska. Daily forecast. Oh no.
More wind?
No, they dropped the temp to a high of 57 tomorrow.
Oh, it was supposed to be almost 70.
It was supposed to be 68 degrees. Yeah, they dropped
so it might get cold tonight.
Low of 28 tomorrow, so I imagine that's going to be the early morning temperature. So anyways, that stinks. Tomorrow I kind of thought was going to be a good day for us. I mean, not saying it's not going to be, but Sunday night, 1 second. All right, sunrise is 5:49. That means you can shoot at 5:19. I'd like to get up at 4 and be walking in like 4:30 and be like, I want to get in tight on those birds. If we can get them gobbling, I want to get in tight. So let's get up at 4, which is still sleeping in for us.
Yep.
All right, I'm setting my alarm right now. 4 a.m. So we're gonna get up at 4 a.m. See how tight we can get in on those birds, and see if we can't get something done tomorrow. What time? Do you have a plan on when you want to go home for?
Not really.
Okay. Me neither. My wife asked me if I was home all weekend, and I said yes. She asked me what time I was gonna be home. I said I don't know.
I have no plans.
Shout out to her for putting up with it. I know that sometimes it's tough with the kids, but
shout out to her. I know you won't listen, but shout out.
I know she's not listening. So, if she is listening, I need a new bow. I need a new bow. I need a new pack. What else? No. I'm just giving Christmas present ideas nonchalantly. No, seriously though. I know it's hard for all of you guys. Like, if you don't think about it, like your significant others, they sacrifice obviously a lot too, and it's tough on them, especially if you have kids. Like, I got 2 kids at home, so Brooke's got the kids this weekend, and some guys aren't able to do stuff like this because they don't necessarily have someone who, for lack of better terms, allows it. And then if you just go when they're not quote unquote allowing it, then you end up not together. And yeah, anyways, so shout out to my wife Brooke, taking the kids for the weekend so I can come, and it's really like a stress reliever for me. Like, sometimes I just need this away so that I can recoup and I can go back and I can do better at home and be refreshed and do better at work, and just need some time away sometimes. So,
yep.
Anyways, you got anything else?
That's all I've got.
Is your screw ball gone yet?
Yes.
Oh boy. So the bottle's officially empty.
Yes.
The bottle's gone, and that means we got to go. because that means that we got to go to bed. So we got to get up at 4 a.m. So, thanks for listening, everybody. We do really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. Make sure you get subscribed to the podcast wherever you're listening, whether that's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Check us out on the Seasons Media YouTube channel. We are also there with our video podcast. Every once in a while, we post a podcast to Fix TV. That's a company that the Seasons Media has partnered with and put our content on there. Right now, we're like, there's some other there's some other channels that do a little bit of hunting, but most of it's not hunting related, and we're kind of the only hunting only channel on Fix right now. So that's kind of a cool thing for us. But we got some, every once in a while we put a podcast on there. Not all of our podcasts go on there, but wherever you're watching, we greatly appreciate your support. Make sure you comment, give us a review, likes, depending on where you're at. We appreciate all of your support. Check us out on YouTube if you haven't. And I don't know, I guess hopefully we
Smack turkey tomorrow.
Smack a jellyhead tomorrow, dude.
Hopefully.
Let's do it. All right, you got anything else?
That's it.
All right. Well, we're signing off. We'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks, everybody.